So, Jack, imagine this. We're both at a party. We have no friends. We're completely oblivious to what's going on. We don't know how to talk to people. We don't know how to interact with people. We barely even know what we're doing. What do you do in a situation like this?
Find an animal, like a dog, and just, pet it for the remainder of the party. If that doesn't work, gravitate towards a video game console that maybe like a few stragglers are playing on a couch over yonder, and be like, oh, is this Smash?
You just assume people are gonna be looking at you like, just like, oh, that's the animal guy. That's the guy petting an animal. I'll go up to him and I'll start a conversation.
Scott, every party has an animal guy. Come on.
Yeah, you gotta fit the requirements. There's always like an animal guy shaped hole in every party, and you're always the one to fill it. I have another solution though. There are so many websites out there with so many icebreakers. If you want to be a conversationalist, if you want to make new friends, if you want to be the life of the party, you have to learn how to be a conversationalist. And I think you and I could both figure this out. Kind of think about how to work off of each other in a social situation. So I have a couple of options here. We have a couple websites up here that include various icebreaker-esque games. And I think we go through these, see how we'd work in a party environment. I even have, I'm at a party right now, according to, this green blob in the back.
I was wondering who those people were. Okay.
We can start with a solid game of Would You Rather. I have two options of Would You Rather here. Boom. Would you rather be sent into space without enough oxygen, or be thrown naked into a pit of deadly scorpions? I'll let you have this one.
The former, the first one, space without enough oxygen, that's already a death sentence. And I feel like you can't, what's the term? But there's just like a no-win scenario for that. Whereas if I'm thrown into a pit of scorpions, even if fully nude, I don't know. I could charm my way out of there. But like if you're in space, you're in space. You're lost. It's looking pretty hopeless.
Yeah, I mean, one of them is pretty much like, yeah, would you rather get shot in the face or get pantsed in the middle of high school kind of thing?
Kind of.
Like, that's just kind of what it sounds. A pit of deadly scorpions is kind of like anything can be deadly if provoked enough. It's just like be thrown naked into a pit of like spiders or something. That's also pretty lame, but it's just like might not be deadly. Pit of dogs.
Yeah.
Could be nice dogs, could be bad dogs. These scorpions may be deadly, but they also might not be feeling that bad that day. So, I feel like that's pretty fair. Being sent into space without enough oxygen, does that just mean not enough oxygen to last you a couple days? Not enough oxygen in general?
We need more info on the first scenario. I agree completely. But regardless, it's a very finite, it's not enough oxygen. Whatever the answer is, whatever the duration is, it's just not enough. And you can't...
I can tell you're hard to please. You're very hard to please. Not enough oxygen, man. It's never enough. No matter what, it's never going to be enough. Here's the thing. I've gone on this website a couple times before. I think this is the website where if you click one, it'll show you what the majority of people, or the percentages. So I'm just going to assume it's be thrown naked into a pit of deadly scorpions.
I would hope so.
Let's see. What the hell?
Okay, no.
60.
No.
So
what's their thinking?
I'm not feeling that one.
I'm not feeling this one at all.
Maybe space is just more interesting. I went to space. Imagine going to a party and saying, hey, I went into space without enough oxygen. You can be like, holy shit, this guy saw the moon. And the other one is just like, yo, I got thrown into a pit of deadly scorpions naked.
I want to talk to that guy. I would much rather talk to that guy.
Yeah, because it's more likely that he'll be alive.
It's more likely he's alive. And also, I do disagree with you. You send someone out in space, they're not going to see really cool shit because 99.999% of space is nothing. It's a vacuum. It's just blackness. So, you're not... I don't know. I just don't think you'd see a lot if you were thrown into space. So, hey, I just came back from space. How was it? Dark.
Have you seen pits? Those get pretty dark. It's just it could literally be, it's kind of the same deal.
We're just not given enough info. 32% of people are wrong. I disagree with 400,000 people, apparently.
Yeah, that's very surprising. Well, let's move on to the next one. All right.
Yeah,
would you rather receive $5 a day for the rest of your life, or receive $50,000 right here, right now?
Well, now I have to do the math.
Yeah, I'll let me-
Busting out my calculator. Let's go.
Yeah, I gotta see.
So if I'm 21,
I'm getting about $1,800 a year, which is not a lot.
what is it a year? What was the math there? Like 1,500?
I got 1,800.
1,800.
$5 a
Yeah,
day.
that ain't worth it. No. If I live to be 99, which I certainly hope I don't, but if I live to be 99, I did the math. I would get for $5 a day, starting now, I would get $118,000. Which, by the way, by the time I'm 99, is nothing. What with the rate of inflation and everything, cost of living?
Oh.
No.
Very, very logistical. I like that.
I
think the 50K, you can do a lot with 50K right now. Getting $5 a day for the rest of your life, you're lucky if you get that 50K by by the end of your life, you know?
Exactly.
So, yeah. What the hell?
Okay. No.
I'm not feeling this community.
We're not vibing with the people, Scott.
This party is going horrible. This is the worst party ever.
Like, are we wrong or no? It's the children who are wrong. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, I feel like the people going on this site might be like 20 years younger than both of us.
I hope.
Which
so.
means like I don't know, because for me that would mean they're 5 years old.
Right.
So
yeah.
I don't know.
Same.
But even then, 50K right now, I don't understand why you wouldn't take that deal.
Because then you could invest it, you could make it grow. Like it's a great deal. It's so $5 a day. That's barely a Starbucks a day.
I mean, what, $35 a week for doing nothing?
For doing
that's also a pretty sweet deal.
No, it's not. It's insulting.
But a month? Think about a month. How much would that? About $150 a month?
150. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not nothing.
We're
It's not
50K
nothing.
right now. I don't know. I'm feeling some bad vibes, as some would say, from this community right now.
Let's
But
spit out another.
I digress. Would you rather control your dreams or watch them the next day?
Let's say our answer together on 3. Are you ready?
All right. 1,
2,
3.
Control
Watch
your
them the
dreams.
next day.
No,
Oh,
no,
man.
no. You're being divergent.
You can kind of already control your dreams. Kind of.
With
a little
training.
bit here and there. Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like I've trained well enough. My dreams aren't scary. I don't get the nightmares anymore, or at least it's very infrequent for me. So, like, most of my dreams are just kind of like, it's a normal day, but something might be slightly off. And I kind of want to be able to tell people about that, you know? You kind of want to tell people the next day. It's just like, hey, I had the weirdest dream last night. And then they go, it's just like, what was it? And I don't remember it. I can't really talk about it. All I remember is that I had a dream last night. So tell me about this. Control your dreams. You know what that's called? Imagination.
Oh,
You can do that right now.
It's so different. Okay, first of all, what you just described is my nightmare. People telling me their dreams. That is, for me, that is like the lowest form of conversation, and I can't tune out faster when someone's like, yo, I had a dream last night. I was back in school, but I had a different English teacher. Oh no, that's my nightmare. And the fact that I can't even remember my dreams from the night before half the time probably means they weren't that great. So why on earth would I want to watch them? Now, if I could control my dreams, you wouldn't want that. You wouldn't want to have lucid dreams all the time. That's what it's called, right? Lucid dreaming.
I need to look it up, but I think that's what it is, maybe.
Like, sometimes I get a flying dream, and if I could like really control those, game over. I don't want to watch it. I want to live it, man. So yeah, I do like that we disagree. So now we can know like which one's right when you reveal how many people said it.
Yeah, I think this is more of like an understandable, like, hey, there's a side to both coins.
Sure.
There's two sides to the coin. This is coming from kind of like a lame dreamer, personally. You know, I feel like I have a pretty decent imagination while I'm awake, so like I don't need to waste time dreaming. And you know, personally, I'm like, if I'd want to control my dreams, I could just do hard drugs. So it doesn't really matter. Watch them the next day. I'm okay with those odds.
Let's go.
That's close enough to where I don't feel like a fucking idiot. So let me see. Let's see one more on this website. If you were a 5-year-old girl, would you rather be a mermaid or be a princess? Or just in general, would you rather be a mermaid or be a princess?
Oh, that's funny. I missed. I went right to the choices. I missed the fine print above that clearly expresses or asks if you were a 5-year-old girl.
I think being a mermaid would be kind of garbage.
Why's that? Let's hear why.
Dude, like it's no contest. It's literally like, you have a fin? Do you really not want feet? Do you really think the ocean under there is like gonna be that fun to just hang out under there, like all the time? Maybe as a visit, as a little vacation.
But not
outside
forever.
of that, it's gonna like, you are gonna feel the limitations of having just one fin very quickly. Like it is game over after that.
Okay.
And like, what? Do you really think you're gonna make friends with the fish? They are gonna be scared of you.
That's true, because you have no peers.
Yeah, it's not gonna be like a Disney movie. It's not gonna be like The Little Mermaid. You're not gonna have friends. You're just gonna be down there. It'll be cool for like a day to see, but like the ocean is scary. Now, royal government is scarier, so I'd understand why you wouldn't want to go for the princess move. But, you know, I don't know. I think princess is the more obvious pick.
Well, okay. Hear me out. The wording here confuses me just a touch with the real if you were a 5-year-old girl. Are they saying like you specifically, like Scott, if you were or is it just like in general, like, you know, if you were a 5-year-old girl, like what do you think a 5-year-old girl would choose? You know what I mean? And that's where I'm like, because those could be different.
I think mine would be princess, and I also think a 5-year-old girl would pick princess.
I definitely think the 5-year-old girl would pick princess.
Yeah,
pick princess.
Because mermaid, you know what? If you were a girl, if you were a 5-year-old girl, and you had to pick between the two, I feel like if you would say I want to be a mermaid, you'd be thinking of like the Little Mermaid, where she's also a princess. So, you know, like,
well, you have to consider the Little Mermaid factor, yeah. So I'm scared of the ocean now, as a mid-30-year-old, you know, man. But as a 5-year-old boy, I was even more scared of the ocean. So I'd have to imagine that being a mermaid would absolutely terrify the 5-year-old girl version of me. Whereas what's scary about being a princess, you know, as a 5-year-old, right? Like,
exactly.
What are your
Except
duties?
the idea that you have to rule with an iron fist, and you have to
Princesses
you have to
don't
execute
rule
people and all that.
That's not the princess's role.
Royal government. There's so much stuff you have to do.
What? Okay.
You have to execute laws, taxes. There's so much stuff that's terrifying about that. I wouldn't really want to do that. But compared to living with fish, I don't know.
Yeah, no, give me the guillotine's duties, you know, the executioner's duties all day long. Yeah. It's gotta be.
Yeah.
It's
And
close though.
we got it. Yeah, that's very surprising. I'm not sure I'm sold on the mermaid lifestyle personally.
No.
Like,
very clammy.
I feel like it'd be kind of miserable. Yeah, I feel like it'd feel very humid down there. Like it just feel like it's just like somebody open a window, you know?
It's humid all the time and nobody wants to talk to you. You're surrounded by different species that nothing to do with the weird fucking fish-human hybrid that you are. So, yeah, like you said, you brought up a really good point. You'd have no friends. You'd have no family.
Could you talk to the fish? Is that part of the mermaid power?
That should be addressed in the question, and I'm a little perturbed and saddened that it's not.
Well, how we operate, I think either way, no matter what question we pick from this website, would be like, well, you know, like the question should have had like a full like 5 paragraphs.
Right. Technically.
Yeah. Well, technically, you can talk to fish, but only on Fridays. I think we can try these other would you rathers. There's a different website.
Oh, look at
with
this.
other would you rathers I have here. Look at this. Full screen, easy, very very clear cut. I don't even know if this one has I don't know if this one has the metrics after you click. I just saw that these are a little more specific. So, I mean, we can just start with this. Okay, would you rather have to scream as loud as you can before starting every conversation, I'm a leprechaun, or have to smack every person you have a conversation with and call them an idiot? So, that's tricky, you know?
No,
I mean, one of them is just kind of annoying, and then the other is just assault.
The other's straight up assault. No, you don't want to be
Yeah.
a lifetime assaulter, because that's what this is forever, I assume. Like, this is for the rest of your, your living days. No way.
Let's say with the idea that like we pick the smack somebody and call them an idiot side of life. You could just kind of isolate yourself with people who understand and will not say anything, will not be upset. They will not be upset at you for smacking them and calling them an idiot. And could you control it? Could you control the smack? Could it just be kind of like a little, like a little
How
tap,
hard are we hitting here? Yeah,
know?
Exactly. But then
Yeah.
that greatly.
But it has to be,
vastly
you have to
limits.
isolate yourself with people who are like, I understand you have to do this because you didn't want to say I'm a leprechaun.
It's not any better.
Yeah, have to scream as loud as you can before starting every conversation. I'm a leprechaun.
On the flip side, like, let's say you walk into a party and you don't know anyone. Would you rather be the I'm a leprechaun screaming guy, or the you're an idiot and slaps anyone they converse with guy? Like, when you leave that party and everyone's talking about the weird person, like, either way you're yelling, right? You're either screaming you're an idiot or I'm a leprechaun. But like, people are like, dude, did you see that? Did you hear about that weird yelling guy? Did you like experience that? What do you want people to take away from more?
It's going to be a more positive experience with the leprechaun thing.
Right.
You might get some people going, it's just like, that guy was kind of funny. The other guy was just like, yeah, that guy just beat the shit out of me. Yeah, that guy just smacked me. Like, Jesus.
This has to be the leprechaun thing. Like, I mean, it has to be the leprechaun option.
Yeah, I'm up. Yeah, we get the metrics. But
It is
close.
okay.
56%.
I don't understand who would vote for the other one, though. I don't see that.
Well, we have another one here.
Yeah.
Would you rather have to live under a bridge or have to live inside a stranger's bathroom? I am very pro-bridge. I'm a big bridge proponent.
Oh, you went right to bridge. Do tell.
I mean, like, have you seen like movies where they show people living under bridges and they kind of have their own little shindig going, Like, they have their own little, it's one of those things where it wouldn't be cozy, but the way like movies portray it looks kind of cozy, Like, you could imagine getting all that scrap metal and stuff and making a nice little thing, little shelter, or a little fire pit and all that. Stranger's bathroom. I mean, it depends on the stranger, It could be a very clean stranger. It could be a stranger that don't even use the bathroom. I don't know.
Okay. All right. So I really like that you opened with, you ever seen those movies where there are people living under a bridge? Scott, I see this in my neighborhood.
I mean, like, when it's portrayed in movies, you get a nice warm fiery glow. It looks kind of cozy.
I guess I watch different movies.
I don't have any specific movies to name after. It's just it's a thing in media sometimes. So
right, okay.
I'm pro bridge.
This is where we part ways, my friend, because
Oh man.
with the stranger's bathroom, you get AC and heating, right? You can clean yourself every day and go to the bathroom every day. It's just right there. I don't understand why more people don't live in their own bathrooms, right? It has almost everything you need. If you just get a little fridge, then you're all set. Then you do have everything you need. And why would you ever leave, right? But I'm very pro, even if it's a stranger's bathroom. Somehow you've worked out a deal with the stranger.
Oh, yeah.
In my head.
Well, maybe the stranger don't know that you're there.
No. In my head canon, you're right. Why is it strangers? Right. Okay, so there the fact that it is a stranger's bathroom implies that you don't know them.
It could be something like you go door to door and you just ask people, like, can I live in your bathroom? And that's all you really know after that. Don't even ask their name. Don't do anything like that. You just live in their bathroom. That could mean like, hey, they're still a stranger after all this time.
I think that's what Bill Murray does. He goes house to house and lives in strangers' bathrooms. Hey. And he says, no one will ever believe you.
Why? Because he doesn't want to live under a bridge? He's too scared to live under a bridge?
No, he's too posh to live under a bridge.
I like the idea of kind of having your own little bridge under bridge community kind of thing. It's like, I don't know. Like,
Yeah, you like that?
I think that would be kind of interesting. There would be a lot going on there. There would be stories to tell. Inside of a stranger's bathroom, think about the bacteria in the air, man. That's gross. I heard some people say that you don't want to leave your toothbrush in the bathroom because of all the bacteria in the air.
Sure, I've heard that too.
You know?
I've heard that too. Like there's some collection of fecal matter that somehow like yes, I too have seen that Reddit post.
So imagine living there. That would be disgusting.
Yeah.
Now,
much less disgusting than the bridge though. But I'm sorry, yes, you were saying.
but there's also a lot of like in houses these days. A lot of houses they build closets in the bathrooms. You know, the closets are in the
That's
bathroom.
true. That's true.
So
So what's your point?
you might
What's your
have a
point?
little bit of space.
Oh, I see.
Oh, I'm just throwing it out to you. You know, I'm not trying to make this like a full on like death battle. You know.
Right.
For my point, I can dig a hole. I can dig a ditch, and I can sleep in there. There's so much. There's limitless space under a bridge.
Yeah, technically speaking, there isn't there? But the fact that what you just said about the closets, thank you for giving me, something to talk about for my argument. That the fact that like some bathrooms lead to closets further cements my theory that more people should live in their own bathrooms because it's just like a one shop all space, whatever the term is, it's basically the Walmart of living spaces.
The Walmart of living spaces. I do like that. You know, bathrooms are pretty cozy. It's something where it just like you just kind of hang out there sometimes. It's a good feeling.
And some bathrooms, if you're like super rich and posh or whatever, your bathroom probably has heated floors.
Ooh.
Right? I don't know a lot of other rooms in the house that have heated floors, but like some bathrooms do. Ooh, man, I want to live there.
Hey, TMI, but we're already getting to know each other. I've recently started, putting lotion on my feet to, hydrate them, kind of thing. But that's hard to do in the bathroom because it gets slippery. Because you get up,
Fair.
and it gets a little slippery. So it's just like maybe, hopefully, if I get like a stranger that's really rich, has heated floors, and also like quick drying floor, or I don't know, non-slip floors.
Right.
Then that's everything. That's everything accounted for me.
Scott, are you gonna lotion your feet when you live under the bridge?
That would help in some cases, but also like I don't know. I mean, like how much do I have everything I need? Do I have all at least like a water cooler or something? It doesn't say like you're homeless or like that you just are under the bridge. That's it. You have to scavenge for other things. You just say you live under there. So it's just like I don't know, but yeah, that's what I'm going for. Let me see.
No way.
Look at that.
I'm shocked.
It's a social awkwardness. Nobody wants to live in somebody else's bathroom. If you're living in your own bathroom, that's one thing.
I don't know what this. I'm speechless.
I'm sorry, but hey,
sorry.
I was on the right side of society for that one.
I guess.
Well, would you rather see one day into your own future, or visit the afterlife one time and return?
Oh, that's a good one. That's tough, man.
After thinking about it, it's pretty obvious to me. I'm an afterlife boy.
Okay, so why is it obvious to you? What am I not seeing here?
Quite frankly, Jack, you should understand this lifestyle. My life is pretty boring. I just edit videos most of my day. And I kind of know how tomorrow's gonna go. So yeah.
Fair.
So
Fair.
I think seeing one day into my own future, unless I'm planning some crazy stuff to go down, I think visiting the afterlife, because you would know what happens in the afterlife after that. You would be able to go around and tell everybody, like, hey, this is what happens when you die. This is what happens when I die. This is all of this. You're gonna be this grand whatever. Just there's this whole this is the meaning of life. You'll figure that out. Boom. The big question of society has been answered.
Sure, but who would believe you? No one would believe you, right? Because everyone, has a theory on the afterlife. Everyone thinks they know what happens or likes to think they know. And you would just be one voice amongst billions saying, oh no, I've actually been there. Yeah, take a number, get in line. And we already have tons of people who have those close to death experiences, right? So you would just be yet another, and you know, you get maybe you get like a Netflix special or something, like called, you know, I died and came back. I know what it's like.
That will be fantastic. But I'm not doing it for the fame. I'm not doing it for the fame. I am doing it for just because it's my favorite option personally.
And for the betterment of mankind, right? You're doing it for like an achievement for humanity to be able to see what happens.
You could do something where it's just like, imagine, I mean, like, you're obviously kind of poised with this choice. So like, I feel like you would have time to choose. So maybe in that time you can just call a news report team or something and just be like, hey, I'm gonna go into the afterlife. Just be here.
Oh,
just
okay,
watch
okay.
me. Or maybe hold a festival or something. Because it's just like, this is obviously a
festival.
choice you have to make. This is a choice you have to make. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know how this is gonna look. What, do you like go into a portal? Do you just do something? Do you just pop out of existence? Or is this just an out-of-body experience for you? Do you go into a coma? I don't know.
Before I share, you know, my side of this, I want to poke some holes into your theory. What if you, when you visit the afterlife, you don't like what you see, and you come back into the world of the living, and you have to sit with this knowledge for the rest of your life, for the rest of your days, dreading that you inevitably will return to whatever the afterlife is. But like, Scott, what if you do not like what you see and you are doomed to that scenario for eternity, and you think like you can't, like, once you experience it, you can't unexperience it, right? You have to sit with the knowledge of what the afterlife looks like forever. And like, what if it's hellish? You know, what if it's awful? Do you want that life?
I think through it, and then I tell people what I saw, and I might lie. It depends. You feel like if it's something where it's just like, if the afterlife is garbage, oh man, because that poses a deeper question for like how society would react.
Right.
Because it's just something where it's just like, what if it's something that would literally throw the society into this giant panic, you know, just like everybody, you know, like whatever, everybody's going wild, everybody's freaking out. You know, there is, you are right, there is a lot of pressure there. But you know, hey, the afterlife could be different for everybody, and mine is just horrible.
Sure.
But you
That's
know
true.
what if my next day is horrible? Seeing one day into your future, you see, like that, what if that freaks you the hell out?
Okay, here's so let's talk why I want to do the one day into your own future thing. Lottery numbers, sports betting.
Oh,
you can invest in just like, you know, something that no one else is, like, come on, man. It's a very short-term goal, but it could change your life if you do it correctly. So it's greedy, it's selfish, but I would absolutely somehow game the system and know tomorrow's, you know, whether it's news events or lotto numbers or something, just so I could, you know, I'm back in the present. I act on, you know, whatever I can do so that the next day I profit. All right? That's what I would do.
Damn.
Because I'm a greedy son of a bitch.
Yeah, never expected that to come out of you. I thought you would want to do this for the betterment of society. This sucks. This sucks, man. This party sucks. I don't know, man. The afterlife is something. Hey, it may scare you, but tomorrow freaks me the hell out. Let me see.
No
Boom!
way.
I don't think people are thinking in your way, man.
They're clearly not.
I will give you credit. That is pretty smart. But I feel like most people are like, hey, my next day is gonna be boring as hell. But the afterlife, that's something nobody knows about. So it's just like, hey, let's check this out.
Gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Let's see one more on this website here. Would you rather lick the bottom of a worn shoe or eat from a stranger's feet?
I have a true story based on this argument. No, I have something, a related anecdote. No, like actually an hour ago, I stepped into my dog's poop. One of my dogs. I have three dogs,
no.
and I stepped into one of them. And so it just reminded me. I remember thinking this honestly. It's just like how gross the bottoms of shoes are. Whereas a stranger's feet, if you wash your feet, I'll eat from them. That's fine. I've seen those documentaries.
It is a stranger's, though.
Where people don't have arms and they do everything with their feet. They wash their food with their feet in the kitchen sink. They eat with their feet. I think if you just clean them like you would your hands, I'm good. I'll go to town.
I think it's interesting. I've heard a debate before where it's just like, technically speaking, our feet are shielded most of the day with socks, and not only socks, but shoes. You got two forms of like concealment. Where hands, I mean, that's picking at everything. Right. That's, you know, touching everything, rubbing everything. Mm-hmm. You know, it's just it gets kind of gross. You're touching random things here and there. Like if you're walking throughout the city throughout the day, your hands are touching like whatever, like
Absolutely.
Buildings and walls, all this stuff. Your shoes are concealed by your socks, by your shoes, all of that.
Right.
So, and the bottom of a shoe, it is very similar to like your hands. Well, I mean, like, you know, whatever. But you know, like, but you don't even wash those most of the time. Yeah. And it's just like, you just look at the bottom of any shoe right now. That thing is gonna be gunked up.
I got poop on mine.
Gross.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. It's rough. I think eating from a stranger's feet, you know, like, feet are generally pretty gross.
Sure.
But you know, like hey, I mean, like, I've always had, you know, the childlike face and whatnot, and it shocked me one day when I woke up and I was like, man, my feet kind of smell today. So it's something where I'm finally getting to the point where I'm like, man, feet fucking gross.
Right. It's like, sir, never my feet. Oh no. It's reality shattering when that day comes, but that day comes for all.
It's when you realize, oh damn, I do have to pay my mortgage.
Right,
I do have to be mature. Either way, feet may kind of stink, and they also might be a little dirty sometimes, but I don't think they're gonna be as dirty as a worn shoe.
And the fact that it uses the adjective worn, it's a worn shoe. It paints a picture. You can make the argument like, oh, you can, what if the feet are clean or blah blah blah, but you can't dance around a worn shoe. It's seen some it's been in some it's, you know what I mean, like that adjective alone.
Exactly. Oh,
call me Tarantino because I'm eating from those feet. All right.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, but to also be fair, it's just licking the shoe, just like a good old like one lick.
Yes.
Compared to eating off.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. Well.
Yeah, like that might be a whole ass meal. That might be like a 30-minute sit down.
Can I use silverware? Because like then it's a little less gross if I'm just like.
It also might be something where it might be from like, it might be like, imagine like a baby carrot being held between the toes or something. That's technically Jesus. Eating from the foot.
That's so specific.
The foot is offering you food, and you're eating from it. Or I'm expecting like a whole ass slab of macaroni and cheese or something on the sole of the foot.
Right.
That's a different thing.
Yeah, like coleslaw or something. Like, yeah.
Yeah, why coleslaw? That's rough.
I know, I just went for the grossest thing with feet, but like, I think I would still eat from the feet though.
Mm.
You could pick from the top of it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if it's like a salad or something in someone's feet or on their feet, whatever the hell, you can like skim the top and thus say that, oh, I ate from your feet. You know, I did the thing, and never make contact with their feet. You know what I'm saying? Because it's so many layers.
Exactly. Dude, you don't got to convince me. I'm on team feet.
Okay,
I'm pro feet here. Let's see. I bet you people are going to say they're licking from that shoe.
Oh, I'm curious.
Oh, man. I knew it.
No!
Oh, man.
We'll never know.
I'll never know what society thinks. Well, either way, there's another type of icebreaker.
Okay.
We have a never have I ever popular questions. The first one up is falling off of a bike. I have fallen off of a bike.
I too have fallen off many a time.
Wow. You never would have expected that.
Oh, are you kidding? I was a clumsy ass kid. You know what? I was one of those kids that needed training wheels on my bike for years. It took me a long ass time to get the courage to get those training wheels off. I was just so scared. But it's like, you can't how do you balance a two-wheeled thing? And I let my body do it.
When was the year that you said, you know what, enough is enough?
Dude, I was like 6 or 7. when I finally got my training wheels off. It took a long effing time.
I was hoping you were gonna end that age with a teen, when I was 16 or 17.
How about you, man? Tell me about how you fell off.
Oh man, I remember falling off random. Oh, it was weird. This was like a weird thing that like I remember as a kid that I don't understand the logistics of this. But pretty much like my childhood home, it was kind of like we were on like a highway, but still kind of in like the country where it's just like, you know, like we had a very long driveway, and to that driveway was like the beginning of a highway, you know, but a country highway. So, you know, decent amount of traffic every now and then. So,
Okay.
I'm all the way down back, you know, like mile down my driveway, just whatever, just circling around on my bike, because since I wasn't in a super neighborhood where I could really ride my bike down the road and stuff, all I could do was go up and down the driveway. So I was circling around my driveway on my bike, fell off. A car randomly noticed, and it was like this group of like 16-year-old dudes, and they pulled in my driveway. They were like, "Hey man, this kid fell down. We gotta help him up." It was like this fucking whatever teen power moment, and they brought me to and like I was fine. I just fell off of my bike, but they were like, "Hey, we gotta help him," and they walked me up to the door, and they told my mom, they're just like, "Hey, your son fell. See ya," and that was pretty much it. As you can tell, I grew up in Ohio. That was one of my big childhood memories.
That's
so
really funny. They probably felt like saints that day. They were like, we did something really good today, fellas.
Yeah, but like I don't even know how they saw it. It's just like down a pretty deep driveway. But yeah, I did fall off a couple times. Nothing crazy though. I remember more of my injuries with like those Razor scooters.
Oh my God, sure. Those things were like, they were shin destroyers, those Razor scooters, right?
Yeah.
Like, because everyone was trying to do like those tail whip tricks, and you know, they never worked. I remember that. Yeah.
I was never confident enough to use a skateboard, and like a scooter. Like, hey, if you just want to zone out and just mess around in your driveway, go down the neighborhood and stuff, a Razor scooter that hits the spot.
You don't have to think about it.
No, you don't have to learn it. You don't have to do anything.
What's to learn? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I always liked about it. Let me see. Thought a movie was better than the book.
Oh man, God, I wish I read more, but I feel like I've definitely thought a movie was better than the book.
I'd rather watch like the Dracula movie or something than read that 800-page novel that I in literature class in high school. I instead of reading that book the day before the test, I listened to like an audio reading of it on YouTube while I went to sleep, with the feeling that I would retain the knowledge throughout my dreams.
Right.
I'd rather just watch the movie.
No, I would rather too. I'm just trying to cite actual examples where I've both seen the movie and read the book and walked away. I don't know. I really liked the third Harry Potter movie, and I read all the Harry Potter books, but like, you know, this is decades ago, quite literally. You know, so like I'm trying to remember if I remember thinking that like, wow, that was better than the movie or the book.
Yeah, I remember back during that, like I remember reading up to like the third book when I was younger and watching up to the third movie, and I do remember enjoying the third movie, but I also remember enjoying the third book. I don't remember if I specifically preferred one or the other. Maybe the movie. I'm not sure. Never have I ever lied in this game. It's been 3 questions so far.
No lies yet. I'm a straight shooter. That I was trying to like figure out like, wait, what does this mean? Right.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely lied about the falling off bike thing. Absolutely. I was too self-conscious about not falling off a bike.
Going back to the movie one, I just remembered. I remember loving reading the book Angels and Demons. Same guy who did the Da Vinci Code.
Yeah, wasn't that like
Dan Brown? That's it. And I remember loving that book. So, and like, oh my God, they're turning Angels and Demons into a movie with Tom Hanks. I gotta see that. I remember fucking hating that movie.
Damn.
They left out so many parts of the book that I loved. And like, someone who died in the book lived in the movie, and that pissed me right off. I like all the emotional weight from certain events were just gone. I remember, and I know like that's so not the point of that question, because like so many books are better than the movie, but like that's just like a clear example of I guess, that example. Anyways, I'm sorry. Just wanted to get that out.
No, it's interesting. It's a how long was that book? Like, was it a meaty one?
It's pretty meaty, but just like the Da Vinci Code, it's one of those Dan Brown books where the chapters are all like 3 pages, and there's like 100 chapters or hundreds, but you feel really accomplished.
Yeah.
You're like, I read 50 chapters today, which means nothing.
Yeah.
But it's I don't know. It's lengthy. It's a lengthy book for sure.
So they probably definitely had to tweak it a little bit to work as a movie, but
Of course,
that still
of
makes it
course.
kind of like, why would you change like a character death kind of thing?
Oh, that made me so mad because like the whole point was so and so died, to make the villain more villainous, etc. Anyways, that's neither here nor there.
Well, for the other never have I ever question, the next one is never have I ever pretended I was running from zombies while on a run.
Have you?
I mean, like, I would randomly, like, think of, like, scenarios. Or not necessarily maybe zombies, but, like, specifically. Like, I have this very specific scenario that I've thought of where it's just, like, when I lived with my parents, we have a cat. So it's just, like, the idea of, like, like, I'm at the house by myself, and, like, the cat's just there. Cat's just sitting there. I kind of think of the scenario where it's just like, what if I never owned this cat? And I'm just doing my thing right now, and I look over, and the moment I look at this cat is the first time I see this cat. And he's just there. Just appears. He just appears. That's the first time I saw this cat. So it's just like, that's just kind of how my mind works sometimes, where I just think of certain scenarios. So I feel like at some point, I've thought, like, if I'm running, like, what if I'm running from something?
Sure.
But I can't think of, like, a specific, like, oh, yeah, I've done that.
Million zombies behind me,
Can't really think of that. I've had a zombie-related dream, like, once or twice. But can't really think of on a run.
I don't think I've ever pretended this specific scenario, and that's simply because whenever I picture and hear the word zombie, I just think of the slow lumbering kind. I don't think of the fast sprinting type that's a bit more modern these days. I've always just kind of like, back in my jogging outside days, and now I jog, but like I do it in a gym, and I do it in gym classes, and you can't really like pretend like, like on a treadmill, you know what I mean? Like it's a little harder to be like, they're right behind me. Like it's a you're a hamster on a wheel at that point. But back in my college days, I would run around the neighborhood a little bit, but I don't remember picturing some kind of scenario, and that's really just because I'm old-fashioned and always think zombies are slow, lumbering creatures. But that's just me.
They're overrated, in my opinion, in terms of scariness. I feel like in an actual scenario where those things are happening, man, like, that would be pretty simple. That'd be a pretty simple thing to figure out. They're slow. Chain them up. Like, is it, like, if they're really that, I don't know, man.
I agree.
I don't know.
No, I think they're way down to the scary level. And, like, I think zombies have had their pop culture run, like from 10 years ago. But just like, okay, did you ever watch the show The Walking Dead?
Oh, yeah, I watched that. It was, like, something where, like, whenever that show came out, like, it was, like, one of the bigger, like, the big drama shows on Netflix that you gotta watch. So, like, back in, like, the 2010, probably from, like, 2010 to 2013, that's when I, like, caught up with it.
Same.
I watched, like, the first 3 seasons, and I was, like, while I was watching that, hooked. Then after that, like, it just felt like, I'm good.
You and I tuned in and tuned out in that show at the exact same time. I did the same thing, like the first 3 or so seasons or so. So I bring that up just because I was on like IGN.com or one of these websites, and they had a big banner ad for like AMC's The Walking Dead, the final season, and it shows all the characters, like in a big row. It's like a dozen or so characters. It's like, I don't know who any of these people are, and I felt so far removed. Like 2 of them are from the main cast from 2010 to 2013.
Yeah,
and the rest of them are like, who? And it just felt so, like, I don't know, ancient to me. The whole zombie obsession. I don't know.
Yeah, it was. I think the only one that I know is still there is like the old woman and like Norman Reedus.
Right. Crossbow guy. They're still there.
Yeah.
And that's it.
And the only reason why I know a lot about like what's going on, at least like The Walking Dead has the final season, is because like I was watching like Better Call Saul when that was finishing up, and that was pretty much the only commercials that would play because they're both AMC shows.
Right.
And like, dude, they are milking that show because they're like, well, we got to finish it up, but let's do a spinoff, let's do a sequel spinoff, let's do this, let's do that. Like they're doing all this stuff.
It's too much. No.
To be fair, it's a concept where they're like, well, we can just do this again, but with different characters.
For sure.
Because it's just like, all they gotta do is have zombies. But
I just think it's tapped out.
yeah, because it's just like, what more can you do? Because I think in the show, I remember they said something like, oh, we're all gonna turn one time. Like, they were like, it doesn't even matter if we get bitten by a zombie or something. We're gonna, like, when we die, we are gonna reanimate as a zombie. Like, everybody had that virus. So I'm just like, all right, so there's no hope. There's no damn hope. It's just, this show is just a big ball of stress. It's just like, all right, everybody's gonna die eventually. It's just gonna be the same thing where it's just like, they're just gonna go to a different place, have a new big villain, and it's just like, oh man, one of the main characters is gonna die.
Right.
And I'm just like, it's just gonna be the same thing over and over again.
Wash, rinse, repeat.
Yeah, exactly. But to finish this up,
Yes.
I have a physical thing here. I can show you. Have you ever played the card game Super Fight? Have you ever tried this one out?
I've heard of it, but I'm actually excited because I've never played it before, and I would love to give it a go.
Yeah, exactly. Well, this is something we can do remotely, so that's very great. I tried it a couple times with some friends recently, and it's I do think it's a very solid little icebreaker game where it's just like, if you don't know what to do, if everybody is completely silent, just crack out this and just tell everybody, just have at it. So the concept here is that you pull some cards, you pull one card that has like a person, character, whatever. It could be a fictional character, a real person, whatever, or just the concept of a person. And then you pull a couple other cards, and that has like adjectives as to like adding onto them. So it could be like, oh, Abe Lincoln with a peg leg and a cat versus an army of like babies and like whatever. That's like baby sleeping. An army of sleeping babies. That's what it is. And you have to debate which one would win. So I will pull for you. I won't look. I will not look though.
Thank you.
So let me make sure. All right. So you get one white card and two black cards. So let me whoop, not that one. See, some of these have like blank cards. So I think you can just like add your own thing to it.
Gotcha.
But, all right. This is your card. You get the Statue of Liberty.
Okay.
You get the Statue of Liberty, and then we get two black cards. All right. You can so the Statue of Liberty can summon anything from a hardware store and armed with a harpoon gun. So, the Statue of Liberty can summon anything from a hardware store with a harpoon gun.
Okay.
I have a mime.
Oh no.
Let's see. Wearing skis and shoots poison darts from nose. All right, begin. So,
oh no.
we have to debate who would win in this fight.
Oh no. Okay.
All right. Well.
So your weapons against me, are poisonous darts, and what was the other one?
I'm wearing skis.
Oh right. Yes. Just simply the
Yeah.
fact that you're wearing skis as a silent, quiet mime.
Are they water skis? Are they snow skis?
It wouldn't
I don't
matter.
know.
Scott, you're going up against.
No. It wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter because the Statue of Liberty is surrounded by water.
Okay, she is like 300 feet of just copper and iron magnificence. And also, she's armed with a harpoon gun. And in case she runs out of, harpoons, she can summon an infinite amount of hammers, sledgehammers, planks of wood. Doesn't matter. She can build her, oh my God, Scott, she can build her own fortress as if she herself is not domineering enough. She can craft, if you will, just a wooden fortress around, above, and under her, thus making her impenetrable and impervious to all of your mime weaponry. It's not even close. You don't have an argument here.
All of my mime weaponry? All of my poison darts?
She's not a human. She's not human. Poison won't hurt
You have
her.
to have like a soul at the very least to wield a harpoon gun. So let's say if you really aren't human, then you couldn't use all these things. You couldn't use them. Huh?
It's just
I
her
don't
joints.
know.
Her joints slowly become, undone and mobile. I don't know what possesses her. She has some kind of life force. I'm not gonna say she has a soul. Maybe she's a robot. Scott, did you think of that? Huh?
Well, here's the thing. So imagine this scenario. Mime skiing around the Statue of Liberty on the water. Confuses her. All right, shoots a poison dart at maybe like a construction worker or something. There's gonna be a fatality, unfortunately.
Right.
Like, whatever. Like maybe whatever construction worker working on top of the Statue of Liberty or anybody else working that thing. Whatever. Shoot poison dart at them. That can mess them up. That can mess up the Statue of Liberty's aim. That can mess up the Statue of Liberty's like, whatever. Focus. I don't know.
No.
I have a bum deal here.
If you as the mime with great aim, if you hit a construction worker who's like at the tippy top of the statue, and that worker, they're struck dead and they fall through like levels of scaffolding surrounding Miss Liberty, then she could become undone. That would be a very climactic, battle strategy. It's not out of the realm. So it's a decent point there.
It is a point, and I do appreciate the decent the decent adjective used there. But to add the layer on, I'll draw another card for mine, and I'll draw another card for you. So we'll add on top of this. Okay. So you are the Statue of Liberty, can summon anything from a hardware store, armed with a harpoon gun, and a third black card can change into a blank at will. Pick a character card. All right, so you can turn into a ninja at will.
Oh boy.
You can turn into a ninja at will. I am a mime wearing skis, shoots poison darts from nose, and I throw antiques. So,
you throw antiques.
Yeah, what do you think about that? That could be anything. Old ass car. that could do some damage.
That's what? That's fair. Yeah, like the size of the antiques, they could do some damage. But you're forgetting that I'm also a ninja. I'm a giant 300-foot tall ninja. So I can kick back the car at you, and that would put a stopper to your mime life. I think that helps me. That just helps me become more nimble and agile. Because I was totally fine just kind of standing there with my harpoon gun. But now I'm armed with a harpoon gun and a ninja? Are you kidding me? It's not looking good for your mime, dude.
This party's not going well.